What's going on, YouTube? It's the king of the Otherverse here with Alex, aka Dread Joker. He won our store championship over at Superstar Card Gaming with his anti-dragon Dragoncraft deck. Yes, anti-dragon Dragoncraft. I'm gonna let him explain. Take it away.
Going into today, this was absolutely a meta call. I knew that there was going to be a lot of people playing Dragon, and not a lot of crafts can go into Dragon very well. So what goes into Dragon? Dragon. I was worried about the mirror match, so I built myself a Dragon deck that kind of counters Dragoncraft. I took some inspiration from some of the Japanese lists and worked off of that. Made a couple changes here and there and came out with the win. I started with my spells, got 4 Blazing Breath, obviously 4 Dragon Oracle and 3 Blazing Breath, 3 Dragon Oracle, and 3 Serpent's Wrath. These are your prime removal pieces. You need these for the more aggressive crafts like Abyss and Sword. And then Dragon Oracle is obviously a staple. Every Dragoncraft deck plays 3 Dragon Oracle. Dragon Nuke Princess was a tech choice that I saw people playing with in the Japanese meta. Overflow, deal 4 all place. It really is good into Dragon because it starts chipping away things like Dragon Guard, it removes Dragon Warrior, it removes Zenitra, it pings down your Dragon tokens, and it makes them easier to swing over, and it kills a bunch of the wards that Sword could put up. Shape-shifting Mage, honestly I think it's a staple in every Dragon deck. A 2-drop 2/2 that turns into a 5/5 when you're in Overflow, and when it evolves it turns into the Assailed Bane. So quick removal, it gets rid of your Fafnirs, it gets rid of the Shenlongs, any big wards, anything that you don't want to commit a bunch of resources into. You commit 3 play points and just swing over it. You got Dragon Warrior. This is the best turn 3 play, going second. If you're on the draw, they play out anything. You play this for 3, flip your evo point, pop whatever they've played, because anything 3 cost usually has no more than 3 defense, and then if you have multiple things to swing over, in Swordcraft's case, you swing over Swordcraft. Zenitra I play at 2. She's really good to play turn 3, and then you tap her and bring out the Dragon token turn 4. A lot of people hold the Zenitras and wait till you're in Overflow, that way you can get the Dragon for free. I think that you should get it as early as possible, depending on your matchup, because if you start going wide, they have a hard time dealing with the 5/5 and Zenitra on top of that. So you can start going wide. I did that in one of my Dragon matchups. I played a Zenitra. The next turn, on turn 3, next turn I tapped it, brought out the Dragon. The next turn after that, I played another Zenitra, put out another Dragon, and at that point I had 4 bodies that they had to deal with. Erd is absolutely insane. It removes any big words that you may have to deal with, whether it be in Haven, in Dragon. It can knock out things in the EX after it evolves, things that people put into the EX using Wyvern Cavalier. You can knock out tokens. If you run into a Forest player, you can knock out their Thorn Burst tokens. Just getting rid of anything on the board without actually removing it is really solid. If they play something turn 4, turn 5, and you play Erd, and Erd forces it into the EX area, they then have to replay what they did, which throws off the curve. So if they played Cavalier on 5, you send the Cavalier back to EX and remove the card that Cavalier put there, you set them back a turn, and you've gotten rid of what they played off of the Cavalier. So yes, they could play the Cavalier again, but they have to commit the 5 to do it, so it puts them a turn behind. Fortaser 5/1 with Storm. It's a 7/3 with Aura and Storm, so this is your game ender. You can play her early and start doing chip damage, but Typically, you hold her for a game. That way, when you see them hit 7 or lower, you just flash the Forte, and that's it. Dragon Guard is a 4/5. He's a 4-cost 4/5. Becomes a 6/7 on overflow. You don't always have to ward up with them. Sometimes you want to keep him up so that they don't swing into him. That way you can threaten the 6 damage. I did that in my round 3. I left my Dragon Guard up because they were at 13 and I had the Forte in hand. So I checked how many play points they had. I was determined that they were unable to swing for game, so I had no reason to ward up. I left it untapped. They were at 13 life. They couldn't remove the Dragon Guard because the 7K is such a hard threshold to hit without committing multiple resources, and they didn't want to commit the resources. I hit them with the Dragon Guard, then dropped the Forte for game. Shenlong is banned in Japan for a reason. Draw 2, discard 1, evolve, and then heal 5. You drop 1 Shenlong, you're in a good position. You drop 2 Shenlongs, you might just be running away with the game. You drop 3 Shenlongs. If you drop 3 Shenlongs and you haven't won, then I don't know what has happened. And he's got ward, so he's your protection. Wyvern Cavalier, there are no bad hits in the deck. You play him on 5. Any of these are legitimate hits. I've seen people hit Dragon Oracle. The most that I've hit on Wyvern Cavalier today, I hit Blazing Breath a lot on Wyvern Cavalier, which is a free 4 damage to anything on the board. It's quick removal, and if you do manage to hit the Fafnir, hitting a Fafnir on Wyvern Cavalier turns this to a 6, so you on turn 6 you're dropping Fafnir and you're still dropping it on curve. Dread Dragon's a tech choice for the dragon matchup. It kills any of this stuff down here just on play, so you kill the Dragon Guards, you kill the Shenlongs, you kill the Lucifer, and anything down here. The only thing that Dread Dragon's not killing is the Fafnir and the Genesis Dragon. So it's just something to get rid of the big beefy boys when you don't want to commit multiple things, because the more you commit to removing, the further back in the game you end up being. Run the 1 Lucifer. I only have 1 Lucifer, and maybe I would bump him to 2, but I have the 1 Lucifer. It did me well. I didn't really need to see him. The only time I wanted to see him was in the sword matchup that I played in finals, where he healed me up to 13 and my opponent was only able to put 12 on board, so because he was a ward as well. I did go into Lucifer in my Swiss rounds and evolved into the evolution, swung over the ward, hit in for damage, and then burn 4 for game on the Lucifer evolution. And then Fafnir clears almost all of this. It's what you want to see against Abysscraft, Swordcraft, Forestcraft. It lets you just hit the field for a big 5. 5 is the minimum threshold and the maximum threshold of a lot of decks. So throwing down a Fafnir is hitting almost all of the evolutions, low-cost units. It hits most of the boss units. Typically anything under 6 play points is getting cleared off by a Fafnir, unless it's buffed somehow. And then the 1/0 Genesis Dragon, I might turn this into a Lucifer if I get my hands on another Lucifer, but it's always nice to have 4 storm targets and then storming for 10 while they have less than 4 play points up, so you don't run into an execution. You only have to play half the game, and Genesis Dragon just closes it out. And then in my Evolve deck, you obviously have the 2 Fortes because you want to have your aura, your free 7 damage that they can't interact with. I've got the Shapeshifting Mage. It's a Sail in Bane, so you can trade into things that they want to keep untapped, or you could trade into wards like Shenlong and Lucifer without committing too much. Shenlong, because in the more aggressive matchups, you want a ward that heals, so it's a 6. Swordcraft has to throw at least 2 units into it, and you've healed off of it, so it's pretty much staved off 3 hits just by evolving. 2 Dragon Warrior, because Dragon Warrior is the best turn 3 play you've got, especially on the draw. You play the Dragon Warrior, pop something, swing into whatever other body, or just leave it up and then they have to check it while it's unsuspended, otherwise you're swinging in for 4. 1 Lucifer, because sometimes you need to burn for game. And then Erd, like I said, because Erd shoves things into the EX, and then this clears your one thing out of your opponent's EX. Overall, I went 7-0 today. I played Runecraft, D-Shift in the first round against my boy Cardfight King here. Feared for my life, but he was unable to get the destroyers in time to D-Shift. So I pulled that one out. I played against Abyss the next round. They started going low to the ground aggro, but when I mulliganed, I made sure I had the Oracle in hand. Normally you always want to mulligan for Oracle so you can ramp up, but in the more aggressive ones, I throw away my Oracle so that I can draw into my removal. So I drew into my removal and then just played the long game, and Abyss eventually runs out of steam. Round 3, I played against my boy. No, I played against Dragoncraft. It was a Dragon Mirror, and I was more equipped for the mirror than he was, so I won that one. And then the final round was again another Dragon Mirror. Was again better equipped for the mirror match, so I took the mirror match. Made it to top 8. Top 8, I ran it back with the Dragon player that I played in round 3. Won the mirror match again. In top 4, I played against the Dragon Mirror, against the player that I won against in round 4. Won that one. And then in the finals, I played against Sword. They got me down to 1 HP, but rather than control my board, because I had a Zenitra, a token, a Lucifer out on board, and I had one other card, I think a Dragon Warrior. Rather than control my board, they focus on going my face. I had 13 life because Lucifer put me up by 4. They only had 12 damage on board, and rather than swinging and controlling my board, they left my board intact and valued getting me down to 1 so that I was in quick blader range. But they didn't realize that I had enough damage on board to knock them down and then forte for game. So that's my tournament report. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. Be glad to answer any other questions. But this was Dragoncraft 18 and Cardfight King with Shadowverse. Peace out.